Hi, I want to speak on what I call Freudian slips. They're not actually true form Freudian slips because it doesn't have anything to do with sexuality, or anything of that nature. It is strictly to say you will be talking about something, one thing, anything, with a high integrity, absolute honesty, absolute integrity. It's much easier to do this. At least the self in the future and those that you are quantum entangled with can do this. Loved ones can slip a word into your dialogue, monologue, as the case is in this with the video. I'll be saying a certain thing, and then a word will come out, and it'll be like, like I might say, well, that's what I believe. And then instead of believe, the word realize comes out. There will come a time in the future where we get to light mine people. What is light mining? It is the principle of E equals mc squared, but in reverse, where you do the matter equals energy times the square of the, well, m equals e c squared square root thereof, or e square root of e times c. What the hell is the square root of e? Well, fun question. Maybe it's the square root of the amplitude or the frequency of a light. The actual square root of the frequency. You're talking about AM with respect to amplitude modulation and frequency modulation with respect to wavelength. So you got lambda. I really think lambda is the wavelength. I really think that wave height is new. Even though the little thing with the little crest on it looks like a wave with a height, I think that's to represent the wavelength. And that the wave height, the amplitude, is the new. We would be able to take nano diamond powder or something with a high for refractive, light catching, light bending, light manipulating object, even silk or something akin to this. And if the frequency is correct for the spectrographic analysis, by that analysis, we would be able to look at, let's see what gold comes up as, for example. Why gold? Call me a narcissist, but I was born in 79. I happen to like the gold number. I like to think, hey, that's cute too. Welcome to the golden age. World peace, hallelujah. Now we get to move forward. All of us. So having said all that, light mining. Using a Fresnel lens or a beautifully humongous parabolic dish. I'm talking ridiculous. Or even a whole bunch of mirrors collectively powered up and pointing at a tower. Over time, with a high refractive index where it's landing on, in other words, the light's just twinkling all over the place, I guess. I don't know yet. But at the Bikini Atoll in 1960 or 1950 something, 200 milligrams of lithium deuteride was completely annihilated in the process known as bombardment by way of matter and antimatter within the nuclear fusion fire, aka thermonuclear warhead, aka not warhead, but test, when they completely annihilated the island piece that was there. You know, we could do so many wonderful things with paradise, but that is just simply the worst thing I could think we could do to such a lovely, named even, lovely place. We took the Bikini Atolls. When we said take the tops off, that's not what we meant. Stupid joke. Moving forward. I want to say that if you could take light with the right frequency, like for instance for gold, a lot of greens, but more stuff too, other out on the X's, out in the infras, all these fun colors, maybe even pure white light, like the sun, with a hint of green for the sake of trees and how it lands on the quartz down there in the rocks in the ground. Maybe even infrared light, because infrared light, if you really look at it, it's a pretty funky green color, like the color of light coming from the sun through the trees in the woods. And over God knows how many millions of years, gold would form in a vein in the quartz. So my theory is, couldn't we do the same thing at home with our Fresnel lenses? Because they're cheaper than a regular, magnifying glass with a huge glass, thing. You can get a plastic one and like an overhead projector, and you can melt glass and all that other fun stuff. But wouldn't it be really cool if we could actually make gold from light simply by pouring the light from a magnifying glass every day, or a parabolic dish every day, just from the sun, and make our own gold? Now, how would we harness the gold? Okay, so it forms on the nanodiamonds by way of the light actually down. And what I was mentioning the Bikini Atolls for was 200 milligrams. 200 milligrams. That's how little was actually annihilated in the process. E equals mc squared. So then let's reverse it and let's see if we can make 200 milligrams. That's how much energy was involved too. So it's daunting. It's a lot of energy. So if we use solar power, it's not as daunting because it's the same fire. It's nuclear, fusion, solar, all the same colors. Should be able to make that stuff that form on the nanodiamonds. Little gold, real thin, monatomic. Who knows? Perhaps over time, God knows, hours, minutes, with a high powered magnifying lens or bowl, would eventually coat those nanodiamond powder with or probably something that wouldn't burn, because that would probably burn. If it's refractive, it won't. But if it catches any occlusion, carbon dioxide instant. So what I'd like to say is, we would be able to mine gold from light, and using the simple combination of hydrochloric acid and any chlorinating or any halogenating compound, but chlorine is the usual easiest. But the poor man's kind is to just take hydrochloric acid and a nitrate salt and just mix it and dissolve it, and then you have aqua regia. It is chemically that, because the nitronium ions are in situ, are in solution. So then that whole tetra, tetrachloroauric acid, tetrachloroauric acid. Isn't that what it is? Anyway, yeah, that I believe that's what it is. So then, of course, you would just dissolve the gold off the diamond or the zirconium or the glass, and you would be able to then precipitate it out using sodium metabisulfite or stannous chloride or any cheap reducing compound. I like sodium metabisulfite because it's a preservative. I don't really like the tin compound stannous because it is a poison in the long run, even if minutely. However, more will be revealed. I just want to make this certain. If everybody was doing this, the price of gold would drop back down to something like it was in the 1990s, if not lower, just because we'd all know we were making it. We wouldn't have to go to Alaska and dig that crap up anymore, even though that's probably fun. Um, I've mentioned this stuff before, and I mentioned magnetism and stuff involved in the process. I'm not so sure magnetism's necessary. I'm not sure it does anything, but for some reason that came up last year within the idea. So maybe, I don't know, worth a try. Thank you for stopping by. Love and peace out.